What once was magnetic has turned into indifference. I'm no longer the person I was when we first met, and neither are you. We outgrew each other, and it's time to let go. I've realized that I deserve more than just surface level attraction. It's not about you, it's about me realizing what I need now. The way I feel about you now is not how I used to feel. I'm letting go because I need to make room for something better. Sometimes love fades not because it's forced, but because it's meant to. I'm moving on from what once felt right because I'm finding what truly does. The feeling is gone, and it's time to accept that truth. I've stopped holding on to something that's already slipping away. You weren't the person I needed anymore, and that realization is freeing. It's not about being good enough, it's about being real enough. You can't force attraction to stay when it's no longer there. I'm learning to let go of things that no longer serve my growth. I can't keep pretending I'm still interested when I'm not. The passion we once had has turned into a quiet understanding that it's over. Sometimes, moving on is the most empowering thing you can do. You were my desire once, but now I realize I was chasing something temporary. I need someone who challenges me, not just someone who is easy to fall for. What used to feel like chemistry now feels like distance. I'm not holding on to something that's no longer working. The person I was when I loved you doesn't exist anymore. We were never meant to be forever, and I've come to terms with that. Love isn't about looks, but it's hard to keep pretending when the connection fades. I've learned to recognize when it's time to walk away. It's okay to fall out of love. It's just part of the journey. I'm not sorry for realizing I deserve more than what I was settling for. I need a partner who brings more than just a pretty face. We both changed and we're not the same people we used to be. You no longer make my heart race, and that's something I can't ignore. There's no point in holding on when the spark is gone. I need someone who sees me for who I am, not hushed for my looks. The attraction faded and I had to acknowledge it. It's not about what you look like, it's about what you bring to the table. I'm not interested in someone who can't grow with me. I'm no longer staying in a relationship just to feel validated. There was a time when I was drawn to you, but now I'm finding my own way. The magic is gone, and it's time to move forward. We used to fit perfectly, but now we're just two people growing apart. It's hard to keep pretending when my feelings have changed. The truth is, I've outgrown this, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not sorry for realizing that you're no longer what I need. You were once my world, but now you're just a chapter that I'm closing. I've learned that staying in something that's fading is more painful than letting go. The attraction is gone, and I have to let go of the past. Sometimes the hardest part is acknowledging when it's time to move on. I need someone who can meet me at my level, not someone who's stuck in the past. I loved you, but now I've learned that love alone isn't enough. You stopped trying, and I stopped caring. I can't force myself to feel something I don't anymore. What was once intoxicating now feels like a memory I can't forget. You're not the one I need right now, and I'm okay with that. I used to chase you, but now I'm chasing something better. It's hard to hold on to a connection when it's slipping through your fingers. You were once my dream, but now I've woken up. I'm not staying for a relationship that no longer excites me. The love we had has faded, and it's time to move on. Attraction is more than skin deep, and I've learned that the hard way. I can't pretend we're still the same when everything has changed. I realized I deserve someone who truly connects with me, not just with my appearance. Sometimes love is not enough to keep two people together. I stopped seeing the person I loved, and now I'm finding someone better. You were my everything at one point, but now I realize you were just a chapter. I've realized that I'm not interested in keeping something that doesn't excite me anymore. It's time to move on from something that's no longer fulfilling. I needed more, and I'm finally understanding that. I'm no longer afraid to admit that we're better off apart. The passion faded, and so did my feelings. What was once fire now feels like ash, and I'm moving on. I've realized I need a connection that's not just surface level. You're no longer the one for me, and I'm at peace with that. I can't hold on to someone who doesn't match my energy anymore. You didn't grow with me, and I've learned to grow without you. I'm learning to stop holding on to what doesn't serve me. I loved you once, but now it's hard to even recognize the person I thought you were. The fire that once burned bright has faded to a dull ember. Sometimes you outgrow what you thought was once perfect. What once felt like passion now feels like a distant memory. You've changed, and so have I. We just don't fit together anymore. You weren't the one for me. I'm realizing that now. I've moved on, but it seems you're still stuck in the past. What once thrilled me now leaves me indifferent. People change, and so do feelings. I've learned that attraction fades, but respect should never be lost. Sometimes what we desire at one point, we no longer need. The spark is gone, and it's time to admit that. I gave it my all, but I'm not staying for something that no longer excites me. There's nothing more powerful than realizing your worth and walking away. Attraction isn't just about looks anymore, it's about depth. You've shown me who you really are, and it's not what I need. Once upon a time, you were my world, but now you're just a chapter that's closed. I wanted more, but you gave me less, and now I'm no longer interested. I needed something real, not just physical. Now I see that clearly. My heart's not a place for someone who only meet my eyes but not my soul. The chemistry we had has turned into complacency. I don't need someone who's hot for the moment. I need someone who's warm all the time. It's not about being hot enough. It's about being real enough. There was a time you were everything, but now you're just an echo. What once was fire now feels like ash. I'm not sorry for growing beyond what we had. Looks fade, but respect and trust should have lasted longer. I was once captivated, but now I'm liberated. You were once my dream, but now I'm waking up to reality. When you stop trying, that's when I stop caring. I wanted more than physical attraction, and it's clear now that you couldn't offer that. The connection we had doesn't hold the same weight anymore. It's hard to stay in love with someone when they stop being themselves. I've realized that it's not the surface that matters, it's what's underneath. I thought you were the one, but now I see it was just a phase. There comes a time when you outgrow even the best of relationships. Attraction isn't just about being hot, it's about being everything I need. You're not the person I thought I needed, and I'm not sorry for that realization. What I wanted was more than what you could give, and I've come to terms with that. When the spark fades, it's time to walk away with no regrets. I wanted passion, but all I got was a fading flame. The chemistry we had was fleeting, and I've come to accept that. What was once irresistible is now simply forgettable. You're just not the one for me anymore, and that's the hardest truth to admit. Attraction can be temporary, but real connection is something deeper. When you stop making an effort, I stop caring. I'm not sorry for walking away from something that no longer serves me. Sometimes the love you have for someone is not enough to make it last. I needed more than a pretty face. I needed someone who could meet me halfway. Looks aren't everything, and I'm learning that the hard way. I thought you were enough, but I was wrong, and it's okay to admit that. I need someone who can keep up with my growth, not someone who's stuck in their past. It's not about being hot enough, it's about being enough, period. It's hard to love someone who doesn't love themselves first. I gave you my heart, but you couldn't meet me halfway, and now I'm moving on. You've changed, and so have I, and it's time we accepted that. It's not your looks that have changed, but how I see them. I want more than a shallow connection. I want something real. I'm no longer holding on to something that no longer feels right. It's okay to outgrow someone, and I'm finally okay with that.